Imagine standing there, smiling, as your husband proudly shows off a brand new $200,000 car. He thinks he's impressing you, but deep down, you already know the truth. That car wasn't for you. It wasn't even bought with his money. It was for his mistress. And he used your money to buy it. That night, his entire world came crashing down. If you've ever dreamed of seeing someone who betrayed you get exactly what they deserve, then you're going to love this story. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into one of the most jaw-dropping revenge stories you'll hear today. I had been married to David for 7 years. 7 years of believing we were building a life together, saving money together, and planning for the future. He was charming, successful on the surface, and always knew how to make people like him. But behind closed doors, I started to notice little cracks. Unexplained expenses, nights where he claimed to be working late, and a phone he guarded like it contained nuclear launch codes. For months, I brushed it off. I told myself I was overthinking. I wanted to believe in him, in us. After all, trust is what marriage is built on, right? But betrayal has a way of leaving breadcrumbs, and eventually, you can't ignore the manway. On the morning of our wedding anniversary, he was practically buzzing with excitement. He insisted we go out, that he had something special to show me. My gut told me something was off. But I smiled, played along, and followed him. When we arrived at the dealership, there it was, a sleek, shiny, luxury car with a price tag that made my stomach twist, $200,000. He beamed like a child unwrapping a toy. Look what I bought, he announced proudly. Isn't it incredible? I forced myself to nod, my hands trembling as I clutched my purse. What he didn't realize was that I already knew the truth. That car wasn't meant for me. It was meant for the woman he'd been sneaking around with for nearly a year. And the money, he'd siphoned it out of my accounts. The retirement fund I had built before we were even married. In that moment, my heart should have shattered. But instead, something colder, sharper, more determined rose up inside me. I just smiled and said softly, "That's great, honey." That night, while he snored beside me, oblivious and smug, I sat awake at the edge of the bed, staring into the dark. My mind raced with every betrayal, every lie, every smug smile he had flashed while spending my hard-earned money. I wasn't going to cry anymore. I wasn't going to beg. No, this time, I was going to make sure justice was served. So I called my lawyer. The next morning, I gathered everything. Bank statements, screenshots of his texts with her, emails confirming the purchase of the car, all tied directly to my accounts. Piece by piece, I assembled the truth like a weapon. Over the next few weeks, while David pranced around thinking he'd pulled off the perfect lie, I quietly set everything in motion. My lawyer filed for divorce. I froze joint accounts. I had the dealership notified that the funds he used were unauthorized, tied to me, and under dispute. The cherry on top, that beautiful $200,000 car was legally repossessed before he could even put plates on it. When he found out, the explosion was priceless. He stormed into the house, red-faced, veins bulging, screaming about his car. I stood calmly in the kitchen, sipping coffee. "You mean my car? The one you bought for your mistress, with my money?" The silence that followed was deafening. For the first time, I saw fear flicker in his eyes. His voice cracked as he tried to backpedal, hands flailing. "It's not what you think." "Oh, it's exactly what I think," I cut him off, my voice steady. "And by the way, you'll be hearing from my lawyer." The sound of his phone buzzing nonstop, mistress calling, friends messaging, only added to the chaos. The man who had once strutted around so confidently was crumbling before me. Weeks later, in court, it all came to light. The affair, the theft, the betrayal. The judge didn't just grant me the divorce, he granted me nearly everything. The house, the savings, and he was ordered to pay me back for the stolen funds. David, he walked out with nothing but the clothes on his back. That $200,000 car. Gone. The mistress. Gone too, once she realized the gravy train had dried up. I remember walking out of that courthouse, the sun warming my face, breathing deeper than I had in years. For the first time, I wasn't the woman he had betrayed. I was the woman who had taken everything back. In the end, it wasn't just about revenge. It was about reclaiming my power. About proving that betrayal doesn't get the final word, you do. Sometimes karma just needs a little push, and I was more than happy to deliver it. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And of course, subscribe for more stories just like this. Because trust me, there are plenty more tales of justice waiting to be told.